Now, what is the definition of psychology? Psychology is the scientific study of the human mind and its functions, especially those affecting behavior in a given context. The next one is the mental characteristics or attitude of a person or a group. Notice that in the European mindset in Babylon, everyone is divided into specific groups. Why is this? So that they can study you, so that they can give you certain suggestions to make you exhibit a certain characteristic or have a certain attitude. You think naturally that black people like chicken. That is not true. Black people do not like chicken. Black people like fruit, vegetables. Black people like being in tune with nature. Black people like being in tune with the sun. Black people like being in tune with God, being connected to the universe. The reason why you think that black people like chicken is because that's the subconscious programming that you have been given. There are psychologists that are studying us, that are suggesting things to us that are making us go against the essence of who we are. You do not like chicken, you do not like pig feet, you do not like pork chop, you do not like any of the things that's being suggested to you, but a mind can only operate through the thoughts that it has been given. And yes, you do not have your own mind, you do not have your own thoughts, you are in an environment that is constantly giving you thoughts and you're acting within that spectrum of thoughts that you're allowed to have. The Hermetic principle of mentalism says that the all is mind. The universe is mental. Thoughts lead to the manifestation of things and events. Thoughts create our state of existence and the quality of our experience here on earth. Therefore, be responsible for everything you create by being responsible for everything that you think. Now, what's the problem with that? You're not choosing your thoughts. In Babylon, you're being given thoughts. A child before the age of 2 has seen 20,000 commercials. Your child knows who Ronald McDonald is before Martin Luther King. You know what Coca-Cola is before you know what system you're in. Why do you think this is like this? It is by design. Psychologists, probably in the CIA, FBI, whatever acronym they choose to use, they're studying you and saying, let's give them these amount of thoughts. Now this is getting into why African American people have turned into Negropeans. And this is a quote from Malcolm X saying that no, there is plenty wrong with Negroes. They have no society. They're robots, automations, no minds of their own. I hate to say that about us, but it's the truth. They are a black body with a white brain. Now what he meant to say is that they are a natural consciousness, a melanated consciousness in a European mindset. Stockholm Syndrome is an emotional attachment to a captor formed by a hostage as a result of continuous stress, dependence, and a need to cooperate for survival. The reason why we're behaving the way we behave within the European mindset is because it is a survival strategy. What did your grandma tell you? Your grandma told you to be a good boy. Go to school, get good grades, wear a shirt and tie, get this job, get a retirement check, baby, get your Social Security pension, and then die. And then by the time you get to that point, you've already conditioned the next generation to follow this method of survival. I Have a Dream is the most highly advertised video of Martin Luther King. That's the first thing they tell us. I have a dream. Why? Because I have a dream speech supports the European agenda. They make sure they let you know about Martin Luther King. There's Martin Luther King Boulevard, Martin Luther King Street, Martin Luther King Ave, or even a Martin Luther King federal holiday. Why is this? Because Martin Luther King, during the I Have a Dream speech, is telling you to stay. He's telling you not only to stay, but to integrate with the Lord self. Why would you do this? Because he was in his Lord self himself. But there's a point where Martin Luther King decides that his actions were not in line with what he wanted for his people. He came to the conclusion that he was integrating his people into a burning house. And now that we're in that burning house, now that you're in that burning house, you're trying to be a firefighter. You're trying to put the fire out instead of letting that system consume itself like it's eventually going to come to anyway. The melanated man and woman is upholding a burning building, and they're going to be consumed by that building once it eventually falls. Carter G. Woodson, right? And this is going into the psychology of things. If you can control a man's thinking, you do not have to worry about his actions. There's people right now, like I said earlier in Babylon, that are studying you. They know what you like. They know what you can do because they give you the options. What are you allowed to be in the European system? Doctor, lawyer, judge, truck driver, cashier at Walmart. They already know your life because they give you the options that you can choose from to build a life in their system. So it's not even hard to study people in a system that allows you only a limited amount of things to do. Why do we all trickle and fight for the same thing, right? Negropeans think that I got an education because I got a master's degree, right? Well, you along with 100,000 people, 100 million people, how smart are you if you know everything or you're talking about things that everybody can look up on YouTube? Why would you go to college for 4 years? Get on YouTube for 30 minutes. That saves you a lot of time right there. But you have to understand that your importance, your significance is not something that is contingent upon how you feel about yourself. Like I said earlier, all is mental. You can change your thoughts right now and change your life. You don't need no degree. You don't need to be no CEO. You don't need to be a doctor. You don't need to be a lawyer. You don't need to be a judge. You need to get closer to the sun, and you need to change your thinking first and say that and acknowledge the fact that I am God. Start there. I am God. You didn't know there was no option though. The European didn't tell you could be that option. The European said, no, you play basketball. You run up and down a field. You go to my school. You do meaningless labor tasks in warehouses and at Walmart and TJ Maxx. You are not God. That's not an option. But is it though? Is being a God an option? Absolutely. It starts with your mind. I am God.